So this video, I'm going to show you some of the different ways that I use Google Drive for some miscellany things. So first is the daily grade, which all of the vocational teachers use a daily grade rubric and grade students on a variety of skills throughout the day. And I found that Google Drive made that so much easier. I no longer have all these papers to keep track of. And honestly, I didn't have to do as much work. At least personally speaking, the majority of the times, my students, more often than not, get 100 for their daily grade, and it's the exception when I have to go in and downgrade that. So I have a folder for daily grade that I share with my co-teacher, Tracy. In that folder, I have subfolders for each of the classes that I teach, and there each student has their own file. And that's shared with them and with Ms. Brett, and it can also be shared with a parent or a special needs teacher or anybody who might need to see how that student is doing on a daily basis. I have a template here that I keep. I'll show you what this looks like. So this is just a spreadsheet that I've set up. This has our daily grade rubric. Each of the categories for the top score. I have it set default to them getting 100 because, as I said, I normally just have to go in for a few students and bring down their grade. I'm not going to get into how I created this spreadsheet. That could be a whole other day of professional development. But if you're fairly decent at spreadsheets, you can make one of these yourself, or I can share this link with you and you can use this. But if, let's say, this student was not on task on Monday, I could downgrade them to a 2. And then it brings their grade down, and then I write something in their comment sheet. The template is set up so that there are multiple weeks with the same rubric. So that is all set up. And so I would just make a copy of this document and rename it the student's name, daily grade, and share it with them so they can view but not edit. So the way that I make a copy of a folder or file in Google Drive is while you have it highlighted, you can right click it, and then down here you can make a copy. I'll make a copy in here. That can be a pain in the butt to do for every single student. So instead, what I use is a program called Copies. So this is a little bit of advanced. Found this script online. Definitely doesn't have any bugs, so that's not a problem. As it says right here, the script will allow you to make a whole lot of copies of the document. All you do is here you're going to change how many copies you want, and then here you're going to put in this code that you find in the spreadsheet. These I'll put in the PowerPoint so you have a link to the script if you want to make lots of copies of any particular file. Just makes life a lot easier, saves you about 15 minutes of clicking around. The other thing that I've used Google Drive for is a warm-up and closer journal for the students, where they have a file, they share it with me. There's questions they answer. They, take about 10 minutes in the morning to answer that question, or 10 minutes in the afternoon to answer that question, and then I have access to that and can comment and interact with them. The other thing that I want to show you is Google Forms. That's on the More section. And so you can create a form for anything that you want. I've sometimes used it for assessment, not to the greatest outcome, but for, say, a peer review or a self-evaluation, it's great for. I do use it for the survey when I first get students into the shop. The who's at home, how do you learn best, those kinds of questionnaires that we do. So here's a copy of what I use. You email out the link to them, you send it to your group, and then the responses can be summarized here, or if you click on this link, and I'm not going to click on it because it will show some confidential information, but if you click on this link, it'll show the responses in a spreadsheet. So it can really generate a lot of information for you quickly and in one place. I also use a template that I found to generate my lab groups. I use this random group generator. I randomly assign their lab groups. They just love that. And so this is, again, a tool that I found on a forum online. Lots of people are using Google Drive for a variety of different things. So there's lots of resources out there. Which brings me to add-ons. So if you are in any of the documents and there's this add-on button and you go here, and I encourage you all, if you have some time to play around with this, go to the add-ons and look through what's out there. So there's mail merges and definitely things specific for educators. Here's one for graphs and to use math fonts, which the math teachers I'm sure will enjoy. There's fonts and games and Sudoku and schedule. There's a lot of project management software that you can integrate into your document. The only add-on I have right now is one that formats my tables to make them look pretty. The other option that you have, there are some templates that you can use. So if you go to, I'm in Google Docs now, and go to the add-on button in the template gallery and browse the templates, and you will find they need a letter or a loan calculator. There's all sorts of templates out there. Lots of people willing to share different documents with you. So I also use Google Drive for my lesson plans. I keep a template on my drive. I share those with Jim. So you can share either via email or within the document itself. Seems to be working out fine. Haven't heard any complaints yet. I also use it for advisory board. I have a minutes template, and then I come in and update that template and save it, and then I can share it with my advisory board Google group. It's been useful in curriculum redesign, where I have that shared document with Tracy. We update it. We can both look at it whenever we need to. And it was useful with committee work as well, helping any of you who enrolled in that Bridgewater course, between myself and the two other coordinators, to keep a live updated list. So that's some other ways that I use Google Drive, and hope that was helpful.